Hey Sagittarius, welcome back to my channel. This is Nyanda. It has been a very long time. I'm gonna make this very quick for you. Just a quick update. I have not been here in a while because I was focused on trying to establish myself musically because I am trying to become a singer. Not trying to, I am actively becoming a singer. I am a singer that is trying to get anyways, you understand what I'm trying to say. So for that reason, because it was something brand new to me, I really had to put all of my attention and energy into that. So now that I've kind of gotten myself to a point where I can kind of balance both things, I'm back again. So and this time I'm going to be consistent. I swear to God, Scouts honor. So this is going to be your September prediction. For Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and North Node. A lot of you guys want love readings. I keep hearing Venus. So either I'm going to do separate readings for love readings. I will be going into love for this. We're going to be touching career and finance and romance as well for the month of September. However, there will be an extended reading available at the end of this on my Patreon, which is only $10 a month, or is it $9.99? One of those two. Anyways, for only that much a month, you have access to all of my extended readings and any extra content that I do happen to make for this channel on there as well. So I do encourage that you check that out in my bio below. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, my rates and how to go about booking that with me is also in the bio below. I'm already kind of getting some messages for you, Sagittarius, so we're gonna get right into it. I heard something about wanting to be respected. Wanting to be respected. That might be a theme, or that might be something that you're more concerned with right now, Sagittarius, is wanting to be respected. But that can manifest itself in a lot of different ways. So for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and North Node, can we please get what energy will embody the month of September for Sagittarians? I'm hearing bombastic. So I'm not sure if that's the song, Mr. Bombastic, if that's like that bombastic side eye, or if you're West Indian. I think that the girl in the audio with bombastic side eye, she sounds African. So you could be like West African. But Mr. Bombastic, I think the guy that sings that song is Jamaican. Now I'm hearing Mr. Lover Lover. Yeah, so somebody here, especially, I think that Satira, she's also a West Indian goddess. So there's a lot of Caribbean energy coming through here. Okay. Some of you guys could be dealing with a Leo or have Leo in your chart. Some of you guys might be getting, considering being initiated into Santeria. Others of you might just have a strong West African Caribbean lineage. It's coming through very strong here. I'm almost kind of getting some of you guys might be interested in establishing yourself in a spiritual practice. And with this woman here in all white, you could be considering voodoo, santeria, candomblé, or candomblé. I don't know if there's an M in there. Just one of the African traditional religions, but very specifically from West Africa. We even have Oya down here at the bottom. Oh my goodness, this is really exciting and a powerful reading for you. I'm almost kind of getting that I'm very much getting you guys have ancestors that are leading you in that direction. And if you're not necessarily going to an established African traditional religion, then you could just be getting more into a magical practice, and you are being guided in that direction for those of you with those Sagittarian placements. Of course, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is the teacher. Excuse me. But it's interesting enough, Sagittarius is more about having, optimism and blind faith. Having faith in a higher power. And of course, for those of us who are practitioners, we understand that having a strong mind is the gateway into all realms and surviving anything, and manifesting or manipulating energy in the direction in which you want it to go. So this with brazen manifestation and radical rebirth, for some of you guys, I'm hearing breaking through chains. It could even be maybe you were limiting your own spiritual practice due to fear of being perceived in a negative light, fear of failure. I've been doing a lot of research on fear, and I will tell you something about, I'm not going to go too into this in this video because this is not that kind of video, but for you Sagittarians who are intrigued by stuff like that, the books of the dead, the Tibetan Book of the Dead and the Egyptian Book of the Dead are really good resource materials for you to research into. There was something that I just read or listened to today that talked about one of the ultimate mistakes, if you will, in life is walking in fear or giving into fear or succumbing to fear. Because fear just essentially tapes over everything, and that's why it's like one of the slowest vibrating levels. Of course, I'm not very familiar with the different levels of vibration. That's not something that I study specifically, although I do know that that's a part of my spiritual practice or part of the understanding of all of it to a certain degree. That's just a certain avenue I've not gotten into quite yet. I'm more into like East Indian, Vedics, just stuff like that over there. But there is something about fear being the slowest moving vibration. And a lot of people will say the lowest. You can call it whatever you want. I would rather say the slowest, because I feel like there is a need for people to stop trying to, for lack of better terms, trying to polarize certain concepts that really don't have a good or bad to them. They just are, right? And how they affect you or how they manifest themselves in your life, sure, that can be perceived as good or bad, but for every single reaction, there's a cause for it, right? So it's like for you, Sagittarius, you might not even have realized where you were living in fear or how fear has been holding you back from even receiving miracles or fully manifesting yourself or becoming the person that you want to be or being true to yourself. Because there's something about something that you want to manifest in your life, Sagittarius, but it's only going to come through becoming fully reborn and also loving yourself a little bit more. Like some of you guys might be trapped in like this whole, there's a pattern here that I'm hearing about where you might try to use optimism to cover over things, but it's like you're not actually addressing what you need to address. You're not actually growing in the ways that you need to grow, because it's almost kind of like you're avoiding the other side of life or the other concepts that need to be addressed. So it's like, if it's not all love and light and sunshine and rabbits and bullshit like that, of course me and my all black right now, right? If it's not that, then I can't even go there. Like, no, that's evil, that's bad. No, oh, get it away from me, kind of like that. I'm not saying that to make fun of you, Sagittarius, I'm sorry. It's not to make fun of you or to make light of the situation, because it's giving that you're starting to realize how that's stagnating you, right? Because if you can't always be love and light, you can't always be positive and sunshine. Everything is very much in this life, it's very much gray, and you choose how black or white to make it. Does that make sense? So like topics such as death in the underworld, for example, that might have been something in the past that you were like, oh, we're not going to touch that, we're going to focus on heaven. And it's like, you can focus on heaven, but that doesn't mean that the other things don't exist, right? Or you can believe in what you believe in, right? But that doesn't mean that what somebody else believes is invalid or inaccurate or something like that. And it could even be that you might have had an erroneous understanding of your ancestors' practice based on whatever projected ideas that you had, like if you're like first generation, for example, right? And it's like you're like, I had like heavy Caribbean come through right here, heavy West African, but let's say you're first gen or like second gen, right? And a lot of us who descend from like cultures that are outside of the Anglo sphere, right? And especially for those of us that come from like Eastern cultures, like regardless of how much people want to detach all of us from the diaspora, we are fundamentally coming from an Eastern culture, right? That has been adapted and westernized. So we are kind of in a gray area, for lack of better terms. But what I'm kind of getting for you, Sagittarius, is like, you could, let's say like hypothetically you are first gen, and it's like you have certain ideas that it's like you have a surface level knowledge of what your ancestors did, and it's like maybe they don't do it like that, or maybe like your parents weren't like super into it, but like your parents' parents were, and your parents' parents were, right? So it's kind of like you have like a watered down understanding of it, but it's watered down because of, number one, obviously, when you assimilate to a certain culture, you do water certain things down, and other things you kind of totally get rid of, and other things you kind of adapt into cultures, and that's just something that's natural, right? But you might have had a watered down understanding of something, and you were just going off of that. And this is going to apply to me as well. If you make you feel any better, I'm a Sagittarius North Node, okay? So it's like, it's like you have a watered down understanding of what it is that they're getting into, and now you're being led to get a more profound understanding. And there's like a strong ancestral pull to this. I'm going to have to rewatch this reading as well. But we're gonna bring it back down. Maybe I said too much. I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna get right into it, Sagittarius. So what message do we have for Sagittarius for the month of September? Oh, okay. So Sagittarius, you could be dealing with the Capricorn. You could have Capricorn in your chart. We also have Taurus and Libra. I'm okay, Sagittarius. We're getting really good energy for you. So you are mastering fear, and it's like that mastery over fear, that mastery over your own daimon, that mastery over your primal self, your most nature. It's like you're learning how to control the feminine yin energy inside of yourself and to wield it to your will. Does that make sense? So a lot of people, when we have our contemporary understanding of masculine and feminine energy really has very little to do with the actual spiritual meanings that are embedded in those cardinal and fixed energies. This is the reason why I do steer more toward the Vedic Eastern route, because it takes away the Christianized version of masculine and feminine, which is very hell-bent on putting the feminine energy in a subordinate position, right? When in reality, the reason why there is a tendency to put feminine energy in a more subordinate position is because feminine energy is primal energy. It is they call it Mother Nature for a reason. It is very chaotic, and it is very wild, and it is something that it is something for the masculine energy in all of us to tame, okay? But it should not be tamed to the point where it's totally snuffed out. And I think that for a lot of us, that is kind of what ends up happening. So we have Brazen here for the month of September. I'm trying to stay on track because this is a lot of information that I'm getting right now. With Brazen here for you, Sagittarius, it could even be that you at some point in time had entirely snuffed out your own feminine energy, that primal, wild nature in yourself that is in itself the creative energy. And it might have been because of, like I said, certain conditioning from different religious systems that you might have practiced in the past. A lot of the Abrahamic religions do put women in a subordinate position, and I'm not saying that as a blanket statement. I have not studied into all of them, but that's just something that is a mild observation that I've seen for women that say, oh, I want to, and to be clear, there is a certain truth, and all is truth technically, but there are lies as well. But anyway, we're not going to get into that. All of those are different manifestations or different projections onto the feminine energy, but you might have subscribed to a certain religious practice where the feminine energy is entirely snuffed out and demonized, okay? It's made to seem evil, it's put in a bad light. And that's the main reason why people who practice witchcraft or different magical practices or spiritual practices are demonized. It's because they are utilizing that primal creative force that, to be quite honest with you, you have to have a heavy control over your own mind and your own emotions and energy yourself to be a successful musician. Some of you guys might be into music, okay? I meant to say magician, I apologize. Some of you guys might even be trying to do this to gain success or to unlock some creativity in yourself. Maybe even you're going to a more spiritual or more open spiritual practice to unblock certain energy centers in yourself. I'm trying to not get a little bit too esoteric in my speech so that this could be understood by everybody. Of course, in other videos, I go deeper into more esoteric themes, but essentially you're learning to, or you have accomplished in unlocking or unbridling that bridled feminine energy in yourself and are now using it and wielding it to your will instead of allowing it to either overcome you or allowing it to be snuffed out completely. Okay, Sagittarius? And it's going to lead to some sort of miracle in you or a miracle outside of you. But there is the devil energy here. So what is the clarity on the devil energy? I'm just going to let this reading unfold naturally, okay? Okay, we have Cancer energy coming through here. So we have Capricorn and Cancer, and those are two opposing energies. And it's so funny because I was just watching a video on is it Akshata? I don't remember exactly the name. I'm one that doesn't like to speak too much on something I haven't studied enough to speak on, Sagittarius. So I'm not going to get too much into it, but if we were to translate it roughly into Western terms, because it doesn't exactly align, it was technically of the pure feminine energy and the pure masculine energy. And in this comparison, it would be Cancer and Capricorn. I'm not saying that is ultimately everything, but just bear with me. Cancer energy, the lunar energy, the yin energy, looks to be dominated and to be given some form of structure, and she will continue to dissolve and to devour every single masculine energy that cannot dominate and give structure to her. And by dominate, I don't mean dominate like with violence. I mean dominate by not succumbing to her illusions, but still maintaining that being firm and having direction in yourself and still responding to her yin energy. There's something about that, right? But why am I bringing that up? Oh yeah, because essentially for all of us to become successful magicians, we have to have a full balance of both masculine and feminine energy inside of ourselves. Both yin and yang energy should be balanced inside of ourselves, because when it is balanced, then you can use it accordingly. With this, I'm kind of getting with the devil. There are certain belief systems that you're still holding on to. You might not even be aware of them, but as you progress in your practice, you will begin to let go of them. So the devil card here is you are moving past these structures. It's like with the devil card here, the devil card represents the energy of Saturn. That's limitations and restrictions as well, right? So that's the reason why we talked about Cancer and Capricorn, or the moon and Saturn, being kind of like lovers, but also polar opposite energies. Because what is Saturn going to do? Saturn's going to come and restrict the moon, but it's going to be restrictions in a way for the moon to give whatever it wants to express form and shape. So it's kind of like for you, for example, you could have like there's manifestations and miracles here. You could have something that you were trying to manifest and it is still in that, it's stuck in the, for lack of better terms, the dream state, the astral realm, right? And you're trying to figure out, how can I turn that from something in that masculine mental energy into something physical here? But you do it, I'm trying to make this make sense. Stay with me, Sagittarius. You do it by using that structure along with the primality and the wildness and turning it into something. So it's like the same way that, I could be overcomplicating this. The same way that certain cultures use fire to enrich the soil, but they have to have a system put in place so that it does not turn into a wildfire and decimate everything. It's like that. It's like, think of the fire as the yin energy, the feminine energy, and then think of the farmers or the horticulturalists that are controlling that fire, digging a hole around the fire so that the fire cannot spread. That is the masculine energy. You're learning to use both. So it's like, as you move forward, Sagittarius, with whatever it is that you're doing, and this does not only pertain to like a magical practice. I'm not only talking to magicians and practitioners and all of that, but this is for everybody. So if you're not into the magical path or the spiritual path or the esoteric path, then that's fine. I'll talk about this in more layman's terms, in the sake of, you can't just let something stay in your head without taking action on it. It also translates to the physical. Now, I said all of that, I spoke in woo-woo for 5 minutes straight to tell you that you can't just let something sit in your head. You have to have some form of action to follow up with it. If you just sit around and think of something, no, it is not going to just pop up in front of you. Unless it can, but typically if it's something that you want to have, like money, for example, right? If you want money to pop up or materialize in front of you, yeah, somebody could just offer you money, but that type of energy can only be acquired for a certain time. But if you want to actually create money in your life, you're going to have to consistently, that's that thought, bring it structure, thought, structure, thought, structure. You're going to have to consistently go back and forth between the two of them. So at some point, Sagittarius, you were too far in one energy. Either you were working too much and didn't have any form of ideas or creativity to be able to fuel it, and you were just moving, or you were just sitting around passive and thinking, and you weren't allowing for that fire inside of your soul to lead you to create something, and now you were conjoining the both of them, or you need to be. Oh my God. That was a lot. But that's the point. And I know what I prayed for before I did this reading. So everything that I said needed to be said, Sagittarius. So somebody out there needed to hear that. So here it is. That is what you're mastering in the month of September. You are mastering both your yin and your yang energies. You are mastering both the primal feminine spirit, the Shakti, and essentially bringing Shiva into it and going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I feel like I just said so much. I kind of want to end the reading there, but I'm not going to end the reading there because I did promise you love messages as well. But I do think that the whole spiel that I gave you beforehand was for career and finance, okay? Sorry, I got a text message. It's before all of that. So everything that I said before that, I apologize, was for career and finance. That's really what it's giving me. So it could even be you're trying to manifest something, or you're in the process of manifesting something. And if you are in the middle of trying to bring something into fruition or to alchemize, I don't really use the word manifest as much as I use alchemize. So if you are trying to alchemize something, that is the missing key, or that's currently what you're doing now. And if you are doing that now, then understand that you are going to be successful. Just continue to go back and forth between those energies, okay? All right, Sagittarius, let's do a quick love message for the month of September. What can Sagittarius expect for love in the month of September? So we have a coworker situation, either a coworker situation. I got Pisces energy here. Some of you guys might find out that your boss has the hots for you. So for love, okay. Sagittarius, for love, some of you guys might have a manager. He could be another fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You could have a manager, or a Pisces, but I'm getting heavy fire energy, who you work with. And you might have this strong feeling that they have a crush on you, or they have the hots for you. I am seeing that here. They might actually admit to that. Clarity on the situation. I'm hearing they might have a sun or a moon in Cancer. We have Scorpio energy coming through here. They might have had somebody that was financially... Okay, so whoever it is that you're dealing with in the month of September, okay? They might have had somebody that they were financially obligated to in the past. So, okay, so you'll know this is your person because they might have somebody that they were financially obligated to in the past. They might still be working on that situation, or it might be coming to an end or a close here soon. Whoever this person is, they might be divorced is kind of what I'm getting here. Like they might be going through a divorce, or they might have been married before. Maybe they're forming a parenting plan for some of you guys. Something about a routine is coming through. Something about their routine. So they could include you in their routine, or they could be part of your routine, or they want you to establish a routine. I'm hearing Penelope for some of you guys. That name could be of significance. A romantic affair. This is getting kind of spicy, Sagittarius. I'm at 23 minutes. I'm gonna give you a couple more minutes before going into the extended. So whoever this person is, like it could, okay, so whoever this person is that you're meeting in Sagittarius, they could like be either dealing with like alimony or like child support or something like that. Whoever it is in the past could be like a female air sign, or just an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. they're trying, okay, this person might be getting intimidated by somebody in their past. They could, like, literally right now as you meet them, so this could even be the reason why, okay, if you don't know this person yet, Sagittarius, where's my tea at? Okay, so you could find out that your boss is going through a divorce, right? Or you could have already known they were going through divorce or some shit like that. Child support battle, whatever like that, okay? Somebody that you work with, and you've always kind of had an inkling that this person had a crush on you, okay? This person might tell you that they have a crush on you. You might find that out in September. We also have here, yeah, there's Scorpio energy here too. It's like something could have happened that led to some legal issues between them and this person. Now they might just be like strictly, it's like whoever this person is from the past is trying to intimidate them. So they're trying to be as logical as possible. Yeah, I just saw the 3 of Swords. Yeah, this person's really trying to, I'm hearing trade money. So somebody could be into like trading, but they're trying to save money right now, is what it looks like. They're trying to save money. Something about a waist trainer. So they're trying to save money, Sagittarius. There could also be a lot of gossip, or they're trying to avoid gossip in the workplace. There could also be that, like, there could be a lot of gossip happening surrounding this, so people could know about this with this person. Maybe they're holding back their opinions or their feelings about you. Could be dealing with a Libra. So you might have suspicions that this person has feelings for you, and they might just come ahead, like, anyways. They might go ahead and convince you. Okay, so Sagittarius, somebody in the month of September that you work with could be your manager or somebody in a position of power, okay? They could admit to you that they have feelings for you, and they could even go out of their way to make it outside of the workplace. And they're really concerned with like drama and gossip and bullshit. So like they may not want people to know about it. That's kind of what I'm getting here. Mainly because they're going through a divorce is kind of what I'm hearing, okay? People might not even know about this divorce. They feel like they're getting the short end of the stick on it or something. Anyway, Sagittarius, we're going to get into your extended reading. So we're going to get more on this person that you're going to be running into. I'm going to be pulling their features and channeled messages from them, as well as how you can expect to meet them, what you can expect from them in the month of September, and the advice for that. So we're going to go over into that, and I will see you there. Bye!